Hi everyone, it's Rachel with the Herbalist Garden. We're going to talk about Valerian today. Who's tired? I am. Hi everyone, how you doing? So we're going to talk about Valerian today, and well, it's very apropos because of how tired I feel today. I was on vacation for Sunday into Monday and came back late last night. I'm tired. It's okay though because I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I will be fine. I will catch up on sleep. Catch up on sleep. Anyway, remember, I'm an herbalist. I'm not a doctor. Remember, I also read from the screen here because that's how I stay organized. And it keeps me from going off subject too much because if anybody knows me, they know I'm very, very, very good at tangents. Mhm. Anyway, welcome. Valerian is commonly used for its potential benefits. Well, we know it's not potential, but that's what they write on websites. It promotes better sleep and reduces anxiety. It may help improve sleep quality and decrease the time it takes to fall asleep. Valeriana officinalis, commonly known as valerian, is an herb native to Asia and Europe that grows wild in many areas, including the United States and Canada. I just purchased my own first valerian plant. I got it at the homesteading days in our one of our local farmers, heirloom farmer. I enjoy what they have there. It's a very small operation, but they ended up having a festival the last 3 years. This is the first one I could go to. They've got food vendors galore, and one woman had valerian. So I got me some. She's like, don't plant it with the other plants. She said it will take over. So I have to find a home for it. I might just keep it in a pot. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Okay. People have used this perennial plant as a natural medicine since ancient Greece and Rome. So valerian can grow over 6 feet tall and has a strong odor. I had some valerian that I had purchased just as an herb ahead of time. Let me just tell you, that stuff don't smell good. Mm-mm, it does not. I kept on smelling the smell in my kitchen. What is that? Cleaned everything. Finally, I realized it's just the herb I had sitting, waiting to be put away. Seriously, it smells terrible. But you don't have to smell it to ingest it and use it medicinally. So, but it acts like a sedative in the brain and nervous system, and valerian has been used in traditional medicine dating back to ancient Greek and Roman times. It contains the root, the valerian root, contains volatile oils, including valerianic acids, less volatile sesquiterpenes, and valproates. It's esters of short-chain fatty acids. These active constituents are likely responsible for the root's ability to produce a calming and restorative effect on the body's central nervous system. It is known as valerian, as we said, Valeriana officinalis. But Valerian, Valer, means in Latin to be strong and healthy. That's what we want. Unlike the plant's delicately scented flowers, valerian roots have a strong odor and many people find it unpleasant. That I do, very much so. Almost like something rotting, in my opinion. The roots and the rhizomes and stolons of valerian are used to make dietary supplements such as capsules, tablets, teas, and tinctures. Research suggests its activity is related to the independent and synergistic actions of compounds found in the plant. I want to go over them again. Maybe I can pronounce it better. I don't know. Phyllopatriates, Phyllopatriates, monoterpenes, sesquiterpenes, and carboxylic compounds, lignans, flavonoids, low levels of GABA. And GABA, we know, is a chemical messenger that helps regulate the nervous system and nerve impulses in the nervous system. Research suggests that the Phyllopatriates, I have to say it, the compounds that give valerian its characteristic pungent smell may have anxiety and antidepressant effects on the body. Okay. That's what makes it smell bad, but it doesn't mean it is bad for us. So as we said, it helps with anxiety relief. In a 2021 study in 39 people undergoing hemodialysis, found that they had a significant reduction in anxiety symptoms after taking 530 milligrams of valerian root 1 hour before bedtime for 1 month. And of course, that's against the placebo. That's just how they balance that out. Valerian root's potential anti-anxiety effects limited, and evidence suggests that it may help with chronic conditions by, such as like OCD. Could it help? Possibly for some people, yes, absolutely. So a high-quality study from 2011 looked at the effects of valerian on OCD behaviors in 31 adults with OCD. Those who took 765 milligrams of valerian extract daily for 8 weeks showed a reduction in OCD behaviors compared with those who took a placebo. So, a 2011 study kind of pretty much proves it, right? So, why not just claim it? Because they can't. Laws and all that stuff basically make it so you're not allowed to say, yes, it does this, or no, it does that, without like some pharmaceutical company to back you. So in a 2014 study of 169 elementary school students with hyperactivity and concentration difficulties examined the effects of daily treatment with a combination of 640 milligrams of valerian extract and 320 milligrams of valerian balm, which would be very, very, very good, like to formulate together. But anyway, after 7 weeks, the children who took the treatment showed more than 50% improvement with focus, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. I'd say there's something to that. And that was just one study. There's multiples. So it also promotes sleep. It helps you fall asleep faster. Research suggests that taking valerian root may reduce the time it takes to fall asleep and improve sleep quality and quantity. In a 2020 review of 60 studies, concluded valerian could be a safe and effective treatment to promote sleep and prevent associated disorders. Same study in 2021 of 39 people undergoing hemodialysis mentioned earlier in the article. People had higher sleep quality when they took 530 milligrams of valerian root 1 hour before bedtime for a month compared to placebo. So it helped them with their anxiety and improved their sleep. In a 2017 study, that included 120 people with sleep disturbances. One group took 2 pills of an herbal supplement called Viganoet 30 minutes before their scheduled bedtime for 20 days. They fell asleep faster, slept longer, and had fewer nightmare awakenings than the placebo group. So that had multiple things in it. I saw that. I don't remember. I didn't write it down. Let's see here. I will post the links, as I always do, that I gleaned some information from about the studies and stuff. That will be in one of these websites if you're really interested. So it helps with menopausal symptoms. It helps reduce hot flashes in menopause and postmenopause people. In 2018 study, taking 1,060 milligrams of valerian per day for 2 months reduced hot flashes in menopause, postmenopausal women. It helps with menstrual issues. People who experience PMS or painful menstruation may benefit from valerian. One study found that it improved physical, emotional, and behavioral symptoms of PMS. Well, come on, let's get on this. We don't like having it just as much as you don't like receiving it. It's just how it is. Valerian root dietary supplements can effectively calm the severe uterine muscle contractions that cause the terrible pain when women experience women experience during menstruation, as a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled study from Islamic Azad University in Iran showed. There is plenty of proof that this works. Studies indicate that the valerian root supplements can help naturally reduce blood pressure too. Keeps it at a healthy level, impacts your heart health. So that is a very huge thing that it can do. So we've got it helps with anxiety, helps with sleep, helps with menstrual issues or the lack of menstrual issues. It helps with blood pressure, also helps with restless leg syndrome. In a 2009 study, an 8-week study in people with restless leg syndrome found that taking 800 milligrams of valerian daily improved symptoms and decreased daytime sleepiness. Okay, so here's one thing about RLS. From my experience with myself and others, it is really a lack of magnesium in your system. Potassium, magnesium, B vitamin, there's a couple things. There is an OTC, of like a Tylenol type, that gets rid of it 20 minutes. I'm working my way away from that because I want to be all natural. I don't almost ever have any issues with RLS. For the last 2 days, I was on my feet so much and so deliriously tired that it was there. I ended up finding some magnesium lotion and rubbing it all over my legs. Helped a ton. Yeah, I would steer clear of like the Tylenol, which does work, and go for like magnesium oil, potassium, different things like that. Because we don't want to take all the other stuff. We want it to be natural. And it can. It can work. You gotta keep body optimized. Sleep, eating healthy, exercising, activation, being active basically. And so, but it also helps with breast cancer. So, valerian extract decreased breast cancer cell proliferation, and valeric acid was associated with cancer cell migration and colony formation. So basically, it kept it from happening, kept it from colonizing in the body. So what's the difference here? We've got valerian, we've got melatonin. They both help people go to sleep. Melatonin is meant for short-term use if you are desperate. And yes, it is natural. And yes, you can get it as a supplement. Valerian is not naturally occurring in our bodies, but it facilitates health in a natural way. So melatonin is a hormone made in the pineal gland. It's highly correlated with our body's sleep-wake cycle. When the sun goes down and darkness occurs, the pineal is turned on by the suprachiasmatic nucleus and begins to actively produce melatonin, which is released into the blood, and that's what helps us sleep. Okay, so if we fix our circadian rhythm, and this is a very, very difficult thing, this is why I'm tired, because in addition to trying to have a life, being an herbalist, gardening, for 3 kids, that's not even home. Sorry, I'm not going to answer that. Probably spam anyway. But I have an organizing business on the side. I DJ on the side. I work with this. I work with the Facebook group. I work with my website. I like to get things done. I like to do things. I like to share my passions with others. So yes, I push myself sometimes. So yes, I am tired. Getting our circadian rhythm in check would benefit our health drastically. I try really hard to not have my phone in my room. Well, like, not on it in my room, but it doesn't always work. Um, okay, segueing to the next thing, because I have some things I shouldn't say. Anyway, so that melatonin being processed into the body usually happens around 9 o'clock at night, and then the melatonin levels in the blood rise sharply, and you can feel less alert and makes sleep more inviting. Melatonin levels in the blood stay elevated for about 12 hours all through the night. Before the light of a new day, they can fall back to low daytime levels at about 9 a.m. Daytime levels of melatonin are barely detectable, and low melatonin levels are linked to sleep disorders like insomnia. Valerian is a sedative herb. That has been that way for centuries. It has been used to treat sleep disorders way before it was recorded. Because it increases the GABA levels in the brain, it reduces brain activity and allows users to fall asleep more easily, improving overall sleep quality. So it does have some side effects, as does everything, for certain people. It is considered safe for most people in general when used at the recommended doses. That's the big part. So if you overtake it, it can cause headaches, weakness, dizziness, stomach issues, vivid dreams, metallic taste in the mouth, fatigue. But that's only if you overuse it. We're not asking anybody to overuse it. Moderation. Say it with me. Moderation. Okay. Additionally, rare cases of liver injury have been associated with valerian use. However, they were usually related to using valerian with other herbs, including black cohosh and skullcap. So they're not even sure that the valerian was the cause in that study. They say you shouldn't take it while you're pregnant and breastfeeding. And don't give it to children or teens unless recommended and monitored by a professional. Valerian may interact with certain medications, including drugs metabolized by the CYP3A4 enzyme, like cyclosporins and other certain antibiotics. So it'll basically decrease the effectiveness of the antibiotic if you take valerian with it. It also may increase the effects of a sleep aid. So don't take a sleep aid and valerian at the same time. What are you thinking? Do not do that stuff. We do not double up. We can't. We can't stack our herbs unless it's specifically recommended. Getting warm in here. Still cold in here all morning. Also, should not be combined with antidepressants like alcohol, benzodiazepines, narcotics, because it can increase the sedative effects of depressants. Also, it's saying valerian can interfere with some prescription medications and it may interact with or increase the effects of other natural supplements, like St. John's wort covering melatonin. You can take the melatonin and the valerian, but you have to really know what you're doing, so I don't recommend it. The recommended doses of valerian, though, are 300 to 600 milligrams daily for up to 6 weeks. That is the baseline, because that's multiple times that I read that specifically. Don't take longer than 8 weeks. No, I don't recommend it. It's a moderation thing. We're using it medicinally. Medicines are not designed, they're not intended to be used every day for the rest of your life, like these pharmaceutical companies want you to. Here, take this and take it for the rest of your life. That's not the way nature intended for us to be fixed. So short term, 300 to 600 milligrams daily for up to 6 weeks. And that is an adult dose. You can use it with other herbs, such as hops, passion flower, lemon balm. Those are ones you can mix it with. I wouldn't mix it with melatonin. I really just wouldn't. So you can take it continuously for 4 weeks. But really, you want to not have to take it. You're just re-regulating your body back into its normal cycles. You're not taking it for the rest of your life. And continuous use for up to 4 weeks might be needed before an effect is even noticeable. So it's got to compound in your system. Don't give up. No more than 6 weeks, no less than 4. You can take it as a tea. You do 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of boiling water of the dried root, and you steep it for 5 to 10 minutes. You can do a tincture. In a tincture, it's a 1 to 5, and it is 1 to 1.5 teaspoons, or 4 to 6 milliliters of it. And if you're doing a fluid extract, that's 1 to 2 milliliters. Dried powder extract is 250 to 600 milligrams. Once sleep improves, it's recommended that you keep taking valerian only 2 to 6 weeks. For anxiety, try 120 to 200 milligrams 3 to 4 times daily. So we talked about its interactions and how the moderate interactions are like with the alcohol and stuff like that. I wouldn't. If you're taking it with antidepressants, they'll pretty much make you sleep. If you're taking it with sedatives, it will make you sleep. So it can interact, no, not interact. It can cause problems in the liver if you do it for too long. That's why they recommend 2 to 6 weeks and that's it. So it's the cytochrome P453A4 substrates. Those interact with valerian specifically. And that combination will cause the liver issues. It doesn't really seem to cause liver issues on its own. It's only if you're combining it with these substrates. Because it will change how your liver breaks down medications, which could change their effects and side effects. So, you guys like to learn how to garden all this stuff too. As I said, I just got my first plant. I'm excited about it. I'm happy about it. Valeriana officinalis. It's an herbaceous perennial. It can grow 3 to 5 feet according to the site. It spreads like 12 to 18 inches wide. It needs well-drained loamy soil, full sun to partial shade. Really prefers the sun. Prefers moist soil. It's hardy in zones 4 to 9. The flowers will come out in the summertime. They can be pink, they can be white. They propagate through seeds and division. They're not really high maintenance because they're grown in the wild. It's a medicinal herb. Deer don't really like it. It smells. But the pollinators love it. So soil is one of the most crucial factors for successfully cultivating valerian plants. Valerian prefers a rich, well-draining soil with a pH between 5.5 and 7.5. To improve its fertility and drainage, it is essential to amend the soil with organic matter, such as compost or well-rotted manure. Adding perlite or sand can enhance the soil's aeration and prevent waterlogging. So before planting, break up any compacted soil and remove any rocks or debris hindering the root development. We know this. After sowing the seeds, if you're going to plant it from a seed, it takes up to 2 to 3 weeks for them to germinate. During this time, it's important to have your soil moist but not waterlogged because, overwatering leads to like seed rot, fungal diseases, failure to germinate if you're underwatering. It'll come up in a rosette of leaves close to the ground. And that's when you really can thin it out if you want to thin it out. Because they recommend each plant be 12 to 18 inches apart. So you can't really use first year valerian. Everything I see says no earlier than the second year of growth. So what does that mean? If I just got a full plant, is it 1 year old? Is it 2 years old? What is it? It's perennial, so it'll drop its seeds and come back every single year. The root system is extremely extensive, so make sure you provide adequate space for the plant to spread out. That's one of the reasons that the roots are used. You can use the flowers, you can use the stems, you can use the leaves. But it's the roots that hold the most medicinal properties, and those are harvested in the fall after the second year. Because by then it should be big enough you can take some of the roots and it won't kill the plant because it should be spread enough that you still have a plant, even if you've taken the roots. So harvested in the fall, the second year when the plant is dormant, either at the beginning of the winter or just before it starts growing again in the spring. So you've got all winter long to do that. So that is when the roots will have its most medicinal powers after the plant has become dormant because, while it's up and aerial, that's where all the energy is going to. But when it goes dormant, it holds it down in the roots. So those are the most medicinal parts. So fall, winter. Valerian's a pretty plant. Don't smell very good. Helps with a lot of things that humans find issues with. I will put the links below, so if you want to look any further into this, there's tons more studies. There you can even look up the studies and find out what they say about the study specifically. You can go buy your own plant. You can buy seeds. I would keep some on hand though. Make sure moderation. Moderation is important with everything. Everything. You don't have to be a minimalist. You don't have to be a maximalist. Moderate. All I can think is stupid commercials. Okay. Thank you guys so much for coming and listening today and helping me learn about Valerian because I knew a lot. I didn't know everything. I appreciate you being here. I would like it if you would like and subscribe. I've got a couple options for next week. Do we want to do jewelweed, hibiscus, vervain, peony, or garlic? Let me know down below. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.